Welcome everyone, and thanks very much for coming along on this beautiful day and for turning out when you could be on your gardens and gardening and things like that. And I'm very, very grateful to the Cardiff Lodge at the Theosophical Society for inviting me to give this talk today. So what is channeling? Well, channeling can be defined as the receiving of information from some external source, spiritual source, or even a source that comes from your own higher self or inner healer. And so, if you like, I mean, it's a bit like the information that you get is a bit like a lens through which the energy, the chi energy or life force, is passed. So the information is, if you like, a sort of focus. And I mean, you've all heard of Reiki. Reiki is life energy, and Reiki actually has its source on Mount Fuji. So it has a kind of a geographical source, if you like, and it's also channeled energy. So you give it from master to student, and the student becomes a master, and they pass the Reiki on. Has anyone heard of Seishin? Seishin, yeah. Yep, Seishin.
Not all.
Egypt.
Yeah, that's right. That's also in Egypt. Sekhem. And there's actually about 50 different Reiki currents, 50 different currents. And there's actually a Mu Reiki as well, Reiki that comes from Mu. But Temple Mu is slightly different, and they're all different energies in the sense that they're all different vibrations. You know, if you like, if you pass white light through a spectrum, you get all the colours of the rainbow. So, you know, Reiki would have one colour, Seishin would have another, Sekhem, Mount Sekhem, that's another one I'm initiated into, and that would have another colour. So they're all different energies, but they're all basically saying the same thing. They're all basically channeling life force, but in different ways and governed by different intelligences. We'll come to that later as well. So channeling, basically to channel you have to open yourself up to the universe, to the multiverse, if you like, because this is one dimension, and as you know, probably know, there's many different dimensions and different fields of consciousness, different time zones, space and time, and they're all sort of coiled in a kind of spiral, so that you know you can actually jump from one dimension to another. So Reiki comes from a dimension, Seishin comes from another dimension, and Mu comes from a very centered on the mythological land of Mu, which is supposed to start from the north coast of Japan, may include Japan as well, and go all the way across most of the across the ocean towards the east, towards Hawaii. So it's a huge land, and that's Churchward's theory of Mu, which is kind of like the Mu healing story. It's a sort of story to hang my own consciousness on. Let me explain a bit more. So basically, we're all receiving information all the time from everywhere. Receiving it from the internet, from TV, from the books we read, on spiritual matters, on matters to do with healing, and medical matters. There's thousands and thousands of bits of information that are coming to us all the time, and not only in our incarnation here on Earth, in our present incarnation, but information that we're getting from the past and from other dimensions as well. So all this information is coming. So here you have the sort of medical matters, and you have your spiritual matters, all the information that you receive there, and so like information on acupuncture, for example, will go there. Reincarnation, information on that. So all these bits, and there's I don't know, miscellaneous information goes in there, and all these kind of filter down into the subconscious, into the long-term memory, and also memories that are received from other incarnations and other dimensions, So there's a huge melting pot. So our brains, as they are presently constituted, is a huge sort of cauldron containing vast amounts of information. And it says it here. And all this information, when it sort of settles to the lower strata of the subconscious, all gets sort of kind of fragmented, as it were. Fragmenting all the information that we have here. And if I put it all in this bag, which is a sort of represents the memory, represents the records, that the memories that come down from us from the past, and I sort of do the big rattle, and I shouldn't get to see through the bag really. And if I pretend that this hand is either the hand of the divine, if you think of an actual deity, or it can be the hand of my higher consciousness, my sort of uber self, which spans space and time. And this hand comes in, and it begins, when you're channeling, as I say, you have to be open to the whole universe, and usually you have to be exposed to one of the healing currents, for example, Reiki. So I was initiated into 2nd degree Reiki, for example, and then I received initiation into Mao Zedong, which is another one of these channeled healing energies. And that absolutely threw me open to the entire universe. I mean, I did the training for about 2 years, and at the end of it, I suddenly got flooded with loads and loads of information. And that was about 3 years ago. But it actually started 25 years ago when I received my first symbol, but I didn't know what it was, okay? And then about 10 years later, I received my second symbol. Didn't know what that was either, and interpreted it in a different way. And then I was initiated into Mao Zedong, and then in one weekend I received the entire sort of system, and that was 3 years ago. And then recently I've received about 15 different modalities of healing, all based on Mu. And so basically the hand comes in, and he starts to draw out bits of information. And as you can see, there's a little yellow bit there. And lo and behold, you have a new system. I mean, it's made up of all the things that I personally have kind of absorbed in terms of information. But this guiding hand, this divine hand, has inspired my intellect to recreate, to refashion the information, to reassemble it, resynthesize it into a completely new system. So now I have a system that is made up of information that I have received, but the little gaps there represent information which is new to me, which I haven't received before, which comes directly from the source, directly from the Temple Mu itself.